Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today we're doing scary stroke horror stories live on YouTube, and this one has been put forward by Riker Mom, and it's Kyle. Holy shit! From Riker Road, or the Cavecast, or Kyle Wright, whichever one you want to look at. You need to subscribe to all of them because this guy's great. He's a great narrator as well. And this narration that he's doing today is called Why Your Door Creaks at Night. And this is from a Reddit story, so obviously it's been submitted to him. Okay, let's check it out. Right, okay, Kyle Wright, Why Your Door Creaks at Night. If you're not subscribed to him, do it. And all the others that I said before. Right, let's get it.
I remember the ice-cold jolt going through my body when I heard the creaky door open. I immediately froze. I didn't hear my brother get down from the top bunk. Maybe he was extra quiet tonight when he went to go pee.
Okay.
Was my little sister scared tonight like I was? Maybe she was sneaking into our room like she always did. I had no real reason to be scared, but I was. I knew it must have been my brother or sister opening up the door, but I was too afraid to move. I just laid there and waited to see. I was bracing for my sister to snuggle into bed all puffy-eyed and crying because she heard a monster. After about 30 seconds, though, there was nothing.
Ooh, the atmosphere of the music, the piano, boom, there was nothing. The way he does these videos is really, really good because it makes it, even though there's not much to look at, you can hear you can like visualize what he's talking about. It's good. I like the way, I like his narration style.
After about 30 seconds, though, there was nothing. I was confused. Surely one of them would have climbed into either bunk bed by now. Still, I waited. Another 30 seconds went by. I clearly counted to 30 in my head this time, just to be sure. I was still confused as well and terrified, but curiosity began to sink in. The door clearly opened but never shut, and nobody came or left from what I could tell. It didn't make sense. All the while, my mind was racing while I laid still. Who opened the door? The fact that it was still open was eating at me. I could never sleep knowing my door was open. I felt my fear grow stronger.
I'm the same. I have to shut the door when I go to bed. The doors need to be shut. Don't know why. They just do.
Never sleep knowing my door was open. I felt my fear grow stronger. I wanted nothing more than to go to bed, but my brain wouldn't shut off. I stared blankly at the wall, hoping my brother would come back from the bathroom and shut the door when he did. I just couldn't bring myself to face the door. Still nothing. Silence. An eerie silence I didn't notice at first. Just as I began to notice how quiet it really was, the door creaked again. This time slowly. Then slower. Then slower. So slow that it was agonizing. The chill was in my spine again, and I was holding my breath. The creak only became even slower as it went on, eventually stopping on a long, drawn-out click.
Who else would have jumped out of bed and booted that mother shut? You know what I mean? Who else would have jumped out and booted that door shut and then shoved a wedge underneath?
Eventually stopping on a long, drawn-out click. I didn't dare move. I kept my breath in me. I thought to myself, it has to be my sister. She must be scared to come in and she thinks I'll be mad. As soon as that thought hit my brain, I came to my senses. I had no reason to be scared, and I was acting childish. I have to be a brave big brother. I exhaled and turned over to face the door. All of my silly fear now gone. I wish I hadn't. As soon as my eyes met this man's face, that icy cold jolt came back with a vengeance, so much so that my stomach turned to knots. Holding my breath again, I didn't move a muscle.
Sorry. If there's a man there that I've not recognised, the first thing I'd be doing is throwing a punch And if it goes through him, I'll be doing a runner. I'll be running.
Stomach turned to knots. Holding my breath again, I didn't move a muscle. I wouldn't dare. I just stared directly at him, unsure of what to do. All I could make out was that he was a nicely dressed man sitting on my desk, his legs using my chair like a recliner, and his hands up behind his head, almost as if
Relax.
he was relaxing. He was right next to my bedroom door, and he was a man I did not know. He wasn't staring at me. His eyes were fixated on something a few feet to my left. I was still holding my breath. I was petrified. I was so mentally stuck and confused and afraid that I couldn't move, even if I wanted to. All I could do was stare, endlessly, for what felt like an eternity. I began to take a good look at this man. Despite my eyes twitching in fear, I noticed this wasn't just any nicely dressed man, but a man dressed like one of those guys from the black and white movies my grandma watched.
Okay.
Suit, tie, suspenders, the whole thing. He even had one of those goofy flat hats. Although I could tell where he was staring, the hat prevented me from fully seeing his face. The only thing that stood out as different were his feet. It took me a second to realize what he had on them. They almost looked like they were deformed, but I realized it was something else.
What do you reckon it is? What do you reckon his feet are? Deformed. Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the comments.
Deformed, but I realized it was something else.
Roller skates.
They were plastic bags. The man had tied plastic bags around his feet like socks. Before I could think about how strange this truly was, I exhaled abruptly. I felt tingles on my neck. My eyes still on the nicely dressed man's face, he leaned forward and brought himself to a sitting position, his feet now planted level on the chair. As he brought his arms down, he interlocked his fingers, resting his elbows above his knees. Slowly, his head began to turn on a swivel. As his head turned, my bedroom door began to creak again. Only my door didn't even move.
So he's got osteoarthritis or a crick in his neck. Maybe the guy used to watch tennis and then it's wore away. I don't know. I'm just making a joke of it. It's quite creepy, this story. I like it. It's good.
Didn't even move. My door wasn't even open. None of it made sense. The creaky noise was coming from the man's neck turning towards me. Click, click, click. Slower and slower. Like it took forever. The tingles in my neck turned to needles. My neck and spine were so cold and so hot at the same time. My stomach felt empty. I could now feel my heart pounding through my chest. I couldn't even comprehend what I was hearing or seeing. The man's hat gave way to the light shining through my window as the last creak in his neck gave its final prolonged click. His face was finally exposed. His eyes, they were gone. Pockets.
Freaky.
They were pockets of
Black.
nothing at all. Why would someone with no eyes smile so big?
Well, 10 out of 10 for the narration, Kyle. You've brought all of the atmosphere of that creepy predicament to life. I thought the visuals were really, really good at getting him in mind. Creepy story. Obviously, it's a Reddit one. He's been submitted to like a Reddit story, but the way he narrated that was absolutely brilliant. I mean, what a story! I mean, it was just so simple about someone getting out of bed and staring at someone, but to make it last like 7 or 8 minutes, you know, it's that's a skill. It's a skill. I mean, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. I thought it was brilliant. And if you're not subscribed to Kyle, like I said before, go and subscribe and watch his videos because they're very, very good. Anyway, if you like my videos, then please hit like and subscribe, and I shall see you all in the next video.